Hello, guys. Welcome to the Wings Mobile Detailing Podcast. And today I'm talking on the auto detailing topic about restoring faded black trimming, what to do, what causes that, and some unfortunate situations of how to take care of that. If you're an auto detailer or simply have a car with those black plastics around the wheel wells of your car and you've seen it faded or became gray, stay tuned, and we're going to talk about that.
Welcome to the Wings Mobile Detailing Business and Automotive Podcast, the only podcast that will guide you on how to start and grow six-figure companies. As our team expand from one business location to worldwide domination, you will get step-by-step insights from a millennial franchisor and franchise owner with your host, Andre Mezzalera.
So this black trimming you can find on any type of vehicle. It doesn't have to be older vehicles. Some new vehicles, they have the black plastic surrounding the wheel wells of your car, sometimes on the top or even the bumper itself if it's an older vehicle with those black plastic bumper. You can have on your jet ski, on your boat, and a variety of places. But this is what I'm talking about. What causes that? What causes it to fade? What causes it to lose the black, dark, rich color that you used to have when you bought your car brand new? Sometimes it can only be sunburn. You know, if you leave your car for a few months or years without actually first protecting, applying any sort of trim sealant on the trim, it won't be protected against the sunburn. It's going to start losing the rich color that you have originally. And with that, you can have it protected if you maintain with the sealant design designated for the trimming itself, or the plastic trim. You don't want to use waxes, regular car wax on trim, because it's going to whiten it up. It's going to make it even worse. So if you do have white residue on the trim, and that's probably because you have dried wax in there. So if you get some wax on the black plastic of your car, just remove it right away, or sealant. So it's got to be designated to the plastic itself. And I'm gonna give out some tips and also go over what causes that. Besides a sunburn, it can simply be age. Where if you have your vehicle for many years, and it's just gonna eventually inevitably fade away, the plastic trimming. The types of color of plastic, they varies. The material itself, you can have those gray plastic. On our Ford Transit for Wings Mobile Detailing, you have like the plastic trim, but they're grayish. They're not completely black. They're actually gray, but they're also faded away. And that itself has gotten to a point where they're so faded that it cannot be restored, even with the best methods that we find to restore that, which I'm gonna go over. They still cannot be restored. So that's a sad place to be in. And to restore that, they have many different products. And this is going to be a short podcast, guys. And I'm just going to go over it. They have different products where it says Trim Restore, back to black, which is from Mothers. They sell that on AutoZone or wherever place, Amazon. The back to black, where you can apply on black plastic to make it a little bit more richer, give it a little bit more shine and a little bit more black. But those products that you find, it can only go so far. They have different labels, different products, and at the end of the day, they have the same composition, and one can darken a surface more than the other. But at the end of the day, if your plastic is really messed up and it's really old, aged, and oxidized and faded away, none of these products are going to save. There's no type of product that you're going to put on top and suddenly the thing's going to go back black again. It's just like a car where the paint is fading away, so there's not enough paint there, and you try to put a product on top for the paint to come back into life. No, you have to repaint it again. And putting those back to black, and these different products won't give the same effect. You're not going to be able to restore 100%. So you have back to black as far as the product goes. You have the GriotsGarage is the one we like to use. And again, it says trim restore, but it doesn't really restore. To me, the word restoration, and it's when it's 100% back, when you have a faded and you can accomplish a new look again. And they have the WipeNew product. You can find WipeNew at Home Depot, and they're really good. But this WipeNew product, it's a small. You can use only for 2 or 3 cars, if I'm not mistaken, and they cost around $30. For about 3 cars, you pay about this amount of money. But they're really good. WipeNew is really good. It work on some black plastics. On my Dodge truck, for example, we have a Dodge Ram, and on the mirror they have black plastic mirror, and they're not completely faded. It's a little bit faded, but the black is still there. The black from the plastic itself is still there. So when we put any of these products back to black, WipeNew, GriotsGarage, the one from others, it's gonna enhance the black. It looks like it's repainted slightly because it's not too oxidized. Now my other vehicle, the Ford Transit, where the plastic is gray, I can apply any of these products. It's just gonna look a little bit oily, but it's still gonna look great. It's still gonna look oxidized. It's not gonna do a thing. No matter what type of product I get, it's not gonna do a thing. Because these products they do have the same composition. One, they can hype up the products, hype up the name, hype up what this is gonna work better. This is really gonna restore. But once the plastic is gone, think about like paint of your car. Once that's gone, you can't put a product to restore something that's not there. One minor difference, a slight thing that you can do, and it's gonna make sense for you guys, is heat gun. A heat gun that you can use. You have to be real careful for you not to melt the plastic completely. And it doesn't work on all plastics, but it does work even on the rubber trimming around your windows of the car. Some cars have that little rubberized trimming. And the heat gun, if you put the heat gun on the plastic, and you work slowly, but you don't want to leave the heat gun there for too long because it's going to melt the plastic. And if you work slowly, you're going to notice that it is going to start restoring that. You're still going to get a better restoration. But what is happening there? Why does that work sometimes better than the product? So when you put on top, sometimes the heat gun is going to darken it up more of the surface. Because what is happening right there, you're literally melting very slightly. You don't want to melt too much to the point where you see where the plastic is being melted. But you're not, if you do it the right way, slowly, but not in one area, not too close to it, you're literally melting the surface of the plastic, and you're actually bringing the dark that was underneath. But then again, it's never 100%. It's always going to be restorable. The heat gun might be a solution for you, and it may not be. Sometimes it's not even worth to use heat gun on a plastic because you don't want to go through the risk of making it worse and melting the plastic off. So sometimes the solution that you have, and you may think, oh, but what do I do? I have my plastic. I'm sure there is a way to restore that. It's not going to be like this forever. Sometimes you even put wax on the plastic, as I mentioned in the beginning of this podcast. You put wax, you leave wax residue, and it whitens up the plastic, because you shouldn't put wax on the plastic, and whitens it up, and then you can never get that off. The residue is there forever. That is a problem. That sometimes is a fact. That sometimes you can't get it off because it has stained through the plastic. I'm sure it would be able to be restored when it's wax with a heat gun. I'm sure it would be, maybe sometimes even one of these products, depending on how it is, it would be able to cover that up. Because this is what technically, this products that you were applying, the back to black, WipeNew, GriotsGarage, whatever, trim restore, quote unquote, type of products that you're applying, you're actually applying on the surface. So what you're doing is covering up that and bringing the dark out, because you're covering up the imperfection, the oxidation that's on the surface. Same when you apply car wax on your car. You know how they say I want to put wax on my car to remove the scratches. That's not a fact. You're not removing the scratches from your vehicle when you're applying wax. You're simply put a layer of protection on top. And you're filling in those scratches, those gaps. And that's why it feels like you're removing those, but you're just hiding them. Same goes with these products. Whatever you put on the surface. It's not like, oh, there's a chemical reaction where it's going to, repaint. So sometimes what you would have to go to, your only solution will be to repaint the plastic, to reapply whatever type of paint that you would have to apply for you to have the color back. If you repaint it black again, the plastic, you're gonna have the color back. Same with the car. Sometimes you have to repaint your car, and sometimes you can't correct your vehicle. Sometimes you cannot correct the plastic. A huge example is my Ford Transit van for wings here. That the gray plastic is completely faded. It's completely gray. The plastic itself, the original color of the plastic is gray, but it's an oxid. Now it looks oxidized. Now it's whitish, grayish, and that cannot be restored. We cannot do heat gun. It's not gonna do a thing. If we put a product in there, it's not even gonna look better. It's gonna look even worse because it's gonna see the product residue there. For this particular case, and if we were to repaint that gray, perfect. The new color is on top, so that would be the only solution. And so this is what I wanted to go over with you guys. If you're a detailer and wanted to see, is there a solution for this problem? There is. If painting is one of the solutions that it's gonna make it look better. But as far as sometimes you cannot go on the cheap route. I just want to buy these products and just cover it up and make it look great. There's no magical product that's going to make it do that. Same goes with a lot of situations in auto detailing. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to this podcast. You can subscribe. Next week, we'll be back with more auto detailing and business topics. Thank you so much.